Hi, welcome to Sabbath School Daily, where we have been studying from this lesson right here, God's Mission, My Mission. This week we're studying from lesson number 11, which has the title, Mission to the Unreached, Part 2, and today is Thursday's lesson, which has the title, Faith on Earth. The opening of today's lesson is a verse that comes from Luke chapter 18, verse 8, that says, "When the Son of Man comes, will he really find faith on earth?" Now look, when I look around in the world, I have a difficulty of seeing a lot of faith. And here, I'm not really putting myself in a different category. So many times do I see my own lack of faith. But really, when we look around, it seems as though every day there is less and less faith in God, less and less inclination or desire to place faith in Him. Now, here's the thing about faith. Faith is not measured by its size. Faith is measured by its foundation. You can have faith in many things, in anything. You can have faith in money, in position, in power, in prominence, in good looks, in intellect, and the list goes on and on. So truly, faith is not measured by its size, it's measured by its foundation. The true question is, where is our faith? And that's what the stories mentioned in today's lesson truly emphasize. Now, I'm not going to read all of the texts that are provided here because there are several, and each one of these texts provide stories about people who placed their faith wholeheartedly in Jesus and what He said, what He did about that faith. That reveals the kind of faith that God is looking for. But if you do want to read about these stories, you can find them in Matthew chapter 8, verse 10 and 13, Matthew chapter 9, verse 2, Matthew chapter 20, verse 29 through 34, Mark chapter 2, verse 5, Mark chapter 10, verse 46 through 52, and Luke chapter 18, verse 35 through 43. What I will do is read the next paragraph that appears and that mentions these stories, that says this. This list includes people with faith that shone even in dark cities. In Capernaum, Jesus highlights several people with faith. In Matthew 8, 10, and 13, we see a converted pagan centurion with great faith. We meet 4 faith-filled friends who ripped up the roof to bring their paralyzed friend to Jesus. In Mark 10, we meet the former blind man, Bartimaeus, whose faith shines bright in Jericho. At the same time, we would expect that among God's people there would be great faith. Yet, even in Jesus' hometown of Nazareth, little faith or even outright unbelief was the limiting factor to Christ's ministry. Among His disciples, several times Jesus says of Israel, "O ye of little faith." And in Matthew 17:17, Jesus exclaims, "O faithless and perverse generation." One lesson that we can apply to today is that faith is found in unexpected places, in the cities among foreigners, pagans, and people with different religions. In humility, we must go into the cities as Jesus did, seeking out those who, when presented with truth, will respond with a saving faith in Jesus. And they are indeed out there. Look, truly faith is found in the places that we least expect. How many stories could I tell you of people that I would never expect to come to the Lord, that I would never expect to give their hearts to God, that I would never expect to become what they become, because my vision, my sight is external, but God sees the heart. And so in looking at people, sometimes we see some that we think, well, those people, well, they'll come. And then we look at others and we think, well, I don't really think so. I don't know. I mean, look at them. Look at the way that they're dressed. Look at the way that they talk. Look at the way that they walk. Look at the people that they hang out with. Look at the places that they go to. I mean, no, there's no way that those people would come. There's no way that they would accept Jesus. Look, like I've said so many times throughout this quarter, we are not called to judge, to discern anything when it comes to this. That is God and God alone. The human heart belongs exclusively to God. We are called to be witnesses, instruments in His hands. That's what we find here, that Christ, He never sent anyone away. He received them, loved them, ministered to them, and transformed them into His children. Friends, they are out there. They are out there. And we have the privilege of walking with Christ into the dark areas of the world, into places where faith does not seem possible, and witnessing His miracle in the transformation of human hearts. I truly believe that the greatest argument for the existence of the biblical God are the transformed lives that give themselves to Him. Please study your lesson. There's a lot to be learned here today. This week was a beautiful lesson. It is so important to study these stories to learn just what God is capable of. Since today is Thursday, we have the challenge and the challenge up. The challenge is open your heart in prayer for a greater portion of faith with which to share your love for those near and far. And the challenge up is How did you come to know Jesus and the precious three angels' messages? List 3 spiritual blessings that you have experienced from Jesus in your personal life. Prepare to share these concepts with your Sabbath School class. So this is a good way for you to kind of go through what you've been through in your life, and you can also share it on Sabbath with your Sabbath School class. Don't forget to do that. Please comment down below with any questions or any comments. I'd love to interact with you. And also remember to like, to share, and to subscribe to our videos. We release one every day. And I hope to see you in here tomorrow for another Sabbath School Daily.